This movie was meant to come out in 2024, but it came out in January. And I can understand why. Because this is a January movie. No. 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 No! This can't be. This movie can't be directed by Mel Gibson. It can't be. We're already at the end of January, guys. And we already got the worst movie of this year. I'm just getting that straightforward. So, what is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is OZ Movie Reviews. My name is Owen DeBrinker, and today I'm going to review the latest psychological thriller film, and that film is Flight Risk. This movie is directed by Mel Gibson and stars Mark Wahlberg, Michelle Dockery, and Topher Grace. A pilot transports an air marshal accompanying a fugitive to trial. As they cross the Alaskan wilderness, tension soaring trust is tested as not everyone on the board is who they seem. So yes, we got a new psychological thriller film that is directed by Mel Gibson. The guy directs such great films, from Passion of the Christ, from Braveheart, from Hacksaw Ridge, and to me, one of the most underrated films of all time, Apocalypto. I love Mel Gibson as a director. I think he directs so many great films. So I was actually kind of looking forward to this film because it's Mel Gibson. I think he's a great director, and the concept is interesting enough. Even though this looks much more smaller based than his other epic films he's directed, I was still interested in this film. And this movie was meant to come out in 2024, but it came out in January. And I can understand why. Because this is a January movie. This is absolutely a January movie, guys. Oh my god, we're in the end of January and we've already got the worst movie of this year. I walked out of this movie just going, this can't be directed by Mel Gibson. This cannot be directed by Mel Gibson. It's like they just interrogated Mel Gibson to work with this terrible script and just direct this movie for a paycheck. That's what it literally felt like. I didn't believe a cent that Mel Gibson has directed this movie. When the movie starts with Topher Grace looking out of a window and sees a CGI deer, I think you know that this movie's going to get worse than this. I'm not joking. That's literally what happens at the start of this movie. Okay, I'm literally going to spoil some elements from Flight Risk because, to be honest with you, there are so many scenes in this movie that I want to talk about in this review because of how stupid they are. So if you are interested in seeing Flight Risk, like the 4% of you that want to see this film and interested in the film, spoilers. I'm going to spoil some elements. Do not watch this review if you're interested in the film. But please stay, because I'm giving you guys a warning to not check out this film at all. When I talk about these scenes and moments in this film, it's going to help you not to waste your money on this film, because this film is a complete waste of money here. Do not see this film whatsoever, because Flight Risk is shit. Now, let's talk about at least one little positive the film. Doesn't help the film, but it's one little, and that is Mark Wahlberg. He is bad in this movie. He is terrible in this movie. But at least he tries. At least he tries to pull forward within this terrible script, because oh my gosh, the lines that Mark Wahlberg says in this movie are so cringeworthy that at times I did laugh. Some people could consider this movie as a guilty pleasure, and I can understand that, because there are parts in Flight Risk that is completely hysterical because of Mark Wahlberg's performance. The line deliveries that he explains in the film are absolutely terrible. And literally, Mark Wahlberg is not the main character of this film if you think he is. Because, yeah, they market him so much in the trailers. He's even on the poster. He is not the main character of this film at all. He's literally the secondary character. Technically, the main character of the film is Michelle Dockery. Literally, she's the main character of the film. It could have just been like on the poster saying Michelle Dockery, Topher Grace, and Mark Wahlberg. Because he literally plays the secondary character of the film. Because he doesn't really have as much screen time as we thought he would. Most of the movie, he was tied up throughout most of the film and either knocked out unconscious, and it focuses more on Michelle Dockery and Topher Grace in the film. They're more the main characters than Mark Wahlberg is. And they literally do nothing with Mark Wahlberg to the sense where they should keep this guy alive. Yes, Mark Wahlberg plays an assassin that tries to kill Topher Grace and Michelle Dockery while on a charter plane. This whole movie takes place on a charter plane. And literally Mark Wahlberg is tied up, knocked unconscious throughout the entire movie. And like Michelle Dockery said, oh, we might need him because he's a pilot. No, you can literally contact pilots, which is exactly what they did in the film, so they have no reason of keeping Mark Wahlberg alive in this film, because of the runtime, I guess. That's why they're doing it, and they need a sense of threat, or else the movie would get boring, so let's just keep Mark Wahlberg alive. And he wakes up from time to time, tries to choke Michelle Dockery, knocks her unconscious, and then he's away for like another 20 minutes of the film. I'm not joking, Mark Wahlberg is very misplaced in this film. He could have been played by anybody. And yes, he actually did shave his head for this film, which looks atrocious, by the way. I don't know why. The film doesn't explain why he looks like that in bold. It doesn't explain. Or I don't know why Mel Gibson has the idea of saying, oh, Mark Wahlberg, shave off your head for this movie. There's no reason he should shave his head, and he looks terrible, I'm sorry. Let's talk about the rest of the casting in the film. Michelle Dockery in the film. I do like this actress, she's been in a lot of good stuff. She is very one-dimensional in this film. And they're trying to give her a sense of backstory in the film, why she ends up the way she is. And I just didn't give a shit because she has no emotion in this film. She's probably the best out of the three of them that actually does try in the film, like when it comes to serious moments, but this terrible script didn't help that. I thought she's just very one-dimensional in the film, and she looks like she's just in the film for a paycheck. Also, Topher Grace. Oh my god. Seriously, why they cast Topher Grace in this role? Because this role is not meant for him. He is trying to be like the comedic relief in this film, and all the jokes he explains aren't funny at all. He's one of those guys that complains the entire movie, going, what's happening? Oh my god, he's trying to kill me. What's happening? Oh my god. Like literally, he plays that character in the film, and he annoys the shit out of me in this film. All these three main leads, honestly, are just completely wasted in this film. And there's so many terrible and dumb moments in this film where I'm just like, seriously, this script is approved? This is some of the worst script writing that I have seen this year so far. This film is written so atrociously. Now, this is where the spoilers comes ahead. I want to talk about some stupid moments in this film. One of the cases, like I said, with Mark Wahlberg not being in the movie at all, that's one of them. Now, another thing that's stupid about this film. There's a moment in this film where they're contacting, you know, the FBI, basically, and trying to get a guy that's a pilot to help Michelle Dockery fly the plane. So, the guy they picked for this role is the most stereotypical Indian callers that we've seen in the film. Literally, he goes, oh, thank you very much for flying this plane. Thank you very much. And he was flirting with, like, Michelle Dockery the whole time in the plane. And what's weird about it is that she was, like, smiling about it. She's, like, very blushed about it. And I'm like, lady, you're in a situation where there's a tied-up assassin behind you trying to kill you. And you just think about, I want to go on a date with this Indian guy while he's, like, telling me all the instructions. Seriously? And another stupid thing about this film, there is a moment where Topher Grace and Michelle Dockery tries to contact the airline in the past 10 minutes. And Michelle Dockery is like, wait a minute, I have a satellite phone in my bag. After 10 minutes of using the headphones, trying to signal the airports and all that stuff. And she has a signal phone. And she thought of that the entire time. Seriously, stupid things like this in the film is what made this film atrocious. Is what made this film absolutely terrible. And I cannot believe Mel Gibson directed this film. I cannot believe it. This is absolutely his worst film. Absolutely. This film is not thrilling at all. This movie has so many stupid shit that happens. The dialogue of this film is atrocious. The acting in the film is terrible. Literally from the trailers, I'm like, this could have been at least a fun psychological thriller at least. No. This movie is atrocious. This movie doesn't know what it wants to be. This film also has a lot of side plots in the film that hasn't brought back because of the runtime. I'm not joking. There's literally a subplot in this movie where Topher Grace's mom is in danger. They mentioned that a couple times and didn't bring it back whatsoever. There's even a moment where Topher Grace told Michelle Dockery, saying, "Oh, can you please go see my mum after this is all over?" And all that stuff, and he was shot in this situation. He's like, "Oh, can you please go see my mum?" There's not even an epilogue scene where she even sees the mum. They obviously put all these ridiculous side plots for this runtime. This could have been a short film, honestly. This could have been a 30-minute short film, and it would have been a completely better film. They put all these subplots to make this movie a full-length feature film. I cannot believe this movie is made, honestly. I cannot believe how bad this movie is. How badly written this movie is. I walked out of Flight Risk just thinking, this is made. Mel Gibson actually directed this movie. Seriously. I'm done. I would love to, talk about the whole movie of how bad the movie is, but honestly, I don't want this review to be long. There's so many stupid shit that happens in Flight Risk. I just want to get this review done with because, guys, overall, so far, Flight Risk is one of the worst movies that I've seen this year so far. And we are at the end of January, honestly. We already got my worst movie of the year so far, honestly. Mel Gibson, I cannot believe he directed this movie. The acting in this movie is atrocious. Mark Wahlberg is terrible. Michelle Dockery is one-dimensional. Topher Grace is just completely miscasted. This movie's not thrilling. It has so many subplots to make this movie a full-length feature film. It's just a dumb, stupid, badly scripted film that just doesn't have anything on the table. And again, I just cannot believe that Mel Gibson has directed this movie. I walked out of this movie just thinking that. Why? Why did he direct this movie? I think it's for a paycheck because he's running out of money. That's what it felt like. You can feel like Mel Gibson doesn't even want to direct this film because there's just no passion throughout it. So guys, just don't go see Flight Risk. See a lot of other films. There's more films that are better than this film, honestly. Watch Wolfman. Wolfman is way better than Flight Risk. Absolutely. Guys, you've guessed the rating. Flight Risk is just one big pile of shit. Oh my god, this movie's terrible. So guys, that is my review for Flight Risk. If you have seen this film, what do you think of the film? Do you like the film, hate the film, or you thought it's okay? Just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Keep contact with me. And make sure you guys subscribe to my channel notify for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a nice day.